Lachey, what the fuck is this? Good afternoon. Cornelia, good afternoon. Is my thing loading? My signal's not messing up, is it? Give me 1 second. So good afternoon. How are you? Okay, I'm gonna pin this to the top so I don't forget where I'm going with this. I don't really want to get too far off task, off the topic, but I also don't want to make this too long either. I am learning to show up for a short period of time and not stay forever, which is why I'm also sober. Look at me. Can't say anything about tonight, but either way, I'm sober. All right. So in a nutshell, I ain't saying everybody, okay? But a lot of y'all, I feel it. I feel it all the time. Like I try to take a break. I try to sit back. Like yeah, I could work on not speaking so suddenly. Like, hey, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be here, knowing damn well I'm probably gonna change my mind. I could work on that, but I feel the pull, and it gets so depressing. And I'm like, I know this isn't my energy, but it just keeps pulling and pulling and pulling. And I'm like, but I know I'm not supposed to be there. I know I'm not supposed to be doing that. But then I get pulled and pulled and pulled to the point where now we're here. Okay? I was doing something totally different. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to answer the call. Not in the way that is expected, but in the way I feel like is best suited. Doing a reading is one thing. Doing question and answers, which I'll do sometime tonight, is another thing, but you don't really get to discuss certain things. Like, it's more like I'm telling you what it is versus what do you think it is? So you can figure it out. So I don't get like pulled, because I can tell when I'm needed, but I don't want to be needed at the time. So, in a nutshell, I've opened up this live to figure out how I can be of service, okay? Outside of telling you what it is. Because through my own experience, I've learned I need to figure it out. I need to figure it out. It's one thing to tell me, but I'm not always open to whatever you're telling me because I need to figure it out. That's the only way. Even if I've done it like 2 times and I failed, the third time I failed, fourth time I failed, I need to experience it. So I feel like what's happening here of why I'm getting pulled is because you're only, not everybody, but just listen, you're only asking questions, but you're not experiencing it. So you're waiting for the next time you can ask the question instead of experiencing it, because your experience will help you to figure out the problem, will help you solve the problem. So if it comes around again, you'll know how to solve the problem. Tarot isn't meant to be an everyday use, which is also why they got like oracles or whatever. You're not meant to know everything. Even though I'm a person that literally wants to know every freaking step of life, I want to know everything, and I don't understand why I can't know everything. You're not meant to know everything. It's guidance. You receive the guidance, whether you like it or not, whether you choose to use it or not. Either way, you make a choice and you do something. I feel like when you fail to do something, to act on that guidance, however way you choose, then I get that pull. I get that pull. Like, I need more answers, but your answers and your wisdom will come through your experiences. So if you ask me a question today and you don't do anything about what you asked about, it's going to be the same answer. So it's like, I don't know, like I just keep getting pulled. Like, you don't need me, but you feel like you need me. And I feel like not only has Spirit made you do without me, and you can sum this up to other people too, but I'm just saying, like for me specifically, not only has Spirit made you do without me, based off the fact that I be in my own little head, in my own little world, Spirit has made me also do without you as well. So I could experience other things, so I could figure out other things outside of the mini channels and whatever the hell I be doing. So we don't create this toxic, codependent relationship. Like, I see, I don't know how much you notice it, but I notice it when people are becoming dependent on the readings or dependent on receiving their answers a certain type of way. And it's not fair to me, but it's mostly not fair to you, which is why I don't mind nowadays like stepping back, even though I know I said, oh, I'll be back, and then I don't show up because that's at this point it's typical. But I don't mind stepping back because I know sometimes I can overshare, I can overgive, which is tiring for me, but it's very tiring for you as well, because it's a lot. It's a lot. Like, I'm not the type of person that shows up and delivers a 5 minute message. I just don't have that in me. So imagine I keep showing up in the way that I would rather show up consistently with you getting these huge messages. It's a lot to take on. And then you receive another message and another message and another message to the point that you're just not able to really receive it because you're still trying to work through the messages that you're getting, but then you're waiting on another message. But then once again, I go back to you're not experiencing life because you're waiting on the next blueprint, the next step. Like, okay, I got this message. Now, what about this? What about this? What about this? Where's the experience? Like, I'm gonna read your comments soon. But when I feel the pull, I get really depressed. Really depressed. And when I say really depressed, I'm not exaggerating. I mean, I don't want to do nothing. I can't do anything. Like, I'm super sad. But I know they're not my emotions. And then I gotta kind of weed through the emotions, like, well, where are mine? Oh, I don't want them bitches because they crazy. Not y'all. My emotions. But I don't want nobody's emotions. And I know, the thing that people will say is, well, you need to be grounded. I am grounded, right? I'm grounded enough to realize those aren't my emotions. But I constantly ask myself, well, why am I getting pulled? Why am I getting pulled? And the thing is, just like I told you, or like I'm telling you, I can ask all the questions that I want, but I have to experience it. So I have to come here to the source, to where it's coming from, and ask you, what the hell do you want? Okay? What do you want? Okay, what do you want? What can I offer you so we can have this middle ground of we're here and then we gonna go live our lives. And then we're here and we're gonna go live our lives. Like, what do you want? But now let me read y'all comments and stuff. Thank you for the blocking. Journey, good afternoon. How are you? Dog, good evening. How are you? I mean, afternoon. I don't know what the hell I said. Good afternoon. Ro, good afternoon. Basically trying to skip steps without going through the obstacles. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Tend to become dependent. Yes. And I feel like people don't understand because I really don't make it known too much, and maybe the way that I say it, I may joke about it. I'm not really joking. I just have a way of saying things that just come across being funny, and I just let people have their laughs because, hey, People need to laugh at the end of the day. But I get overwhelmed a lot, especially when I take too much on and I take on too many energies, too many messages. Um, I don't like being smothered. I don't like being smothered. Because it makes me feel stuck. It makes me stay in one place. So, like, I don't mind the, hey, when are you going to do another reading? Questions. Or, like, when are you going live for question and answers? I don't mind that whatsoever. Constantly, yes, I mind it. I mind it. Because it goes into, well, I don't want to do that. Because if I actually wanted to do it, I would have done it. So then I just go into, well, why, why don't they know the answer? Or why haven't they found another source so they could, get the guidance or the answer that they're looking for? And then I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm not doing the right videos. Maybe that's the thing. You need me because you don't know the right thing. I'm not teaching the right information. Like, I'm literally telling you the answer without telling you how to find that answer. Because you shouldn't be dependent on anyone. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with getting answers. That's not what I'm saying. It's the constant need for it. Like, you can't live without it. That's suffering. That's 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 torture. But once again, it makes me realize that you wouldn't need me as much, or you wouldn't need others as much, because I don't plan on being around forever. I mean, as you can see, I'll be wishy-washy, okay? If I were to teach the right thing. So, almost like, instead of telling you how this person feels, maybe teach you how to figure out that answer yourself. Instead of telling you about that job, maybe teaching you how to find it out yourself. I don't really know. Like, we need people in this world. So I'm not saying you're always going to be able to do it on your own, because I can't even do it on my own. Okay, I can't get every answer on my own. I have to go to other people too. For instance, I can't get the answer why you keep calling on me, so I have to come to you so I can receive the answer. But how do I say it? I don't know. I guess to sum it up, maybe I'm not teaching the right thing. Let me see. Exhausted. How to take a break from social media. Your mom is sick. Oh, sorry. She gonna get better, girl. She gonna get better. But I feel you. I be wanting to take a break from social media, and I'm like, if I didn't work on social media, I wouldn't be here. Honestly, I enjoy being in the background a lot. Having Instagram, that's why I'm doing whatever I'm doing with that. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I don't want to introduce myself on another platform. I may go snatch my name up, but you won't find me active over there. Only for the simple fact that to be posting on Instagram, posting on YouTube, posting on Twitter or X, Twitter, whatever the hell it's called now, or posting on Facebook, like, that's a lot. That's a lot. I am not a technology person. I hate technology, which is why I don't know how to fix this stupid phone. I keep going off and in. I don't know what the hell it's doing. I barely know how to use my laptop. I don't really know how to use this phone. I'm about to go back Android because it was a lot easier. I don't know what the hell iPhone doing. And I'm not upgrading. I just don't like it. Like, yes, I have to, like, grow with the changes, but I don't like it. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, and you meet a lot of different people. And I understand that we all come from different backgrounds, different upbringings, same thing kind of. Where we don't all speak the same, we don't all think the same, we have different needs, we have different traumas. But even a fucking psychologist wouldn't take on more than one client at a time. And I'm taking on a lot at a time. And I can't speak for anybody else, okay? I can't speak for any other healers or energy workers, whatever you want to call them, okay? I can't speak for anyone else. But even down to like doctors are going to take on like one, they're not called clients, what the doctor's patient at a time, typically. I'm working out of alignment. That's what I feel. So it's almost like, I'm about to go back to the comments, almost like teach what needs to be taught, and if my services are needed, then you can book with me. And then I'll have one client at a time. Get what I'm saying? If you have serious questions, feel free to ask me. If not, I'm going to ignore them. But if your question is serious, then don't be afraid to ask it or comment in this, because I still need your answers. Ariella, good afternoon. How are you? Okay. Well, I would say my energy is not much better than yours. Um, but if you perceive that it is, then this is where you do the self work, like self healing, the inner work, because nobody's better than anybody. I'm not better than nobody, but I am the shit though. Okay, to myself, I know I'm the bomb, right? I love myself enough to step outside of somebody else's projection of themselves and place it on me. But I wouldn't use that term. I wouldn't use that greater. It's not. It's not, but it's how you perceive me. So typically when people say that, like that lining of questioning, um, it tells me a lot about that person, about how they feel on the inside, because there's meaning in everything. I'm the type of person where I dissect literally everything, even without you realizing it. So the question that you ask, the way you ask it, what you say, let's say I hear it, how you say it, the tone, like I literally dissect it, even if I don't want to, like I literally do that. So what that tells me, but I typically don't really like those type of people. Like I wouldn't make friends with you necessarily, because it would give me. That's typically when you get the jealous friends. The jealous friends. Why are you so much better than me? You're in competition with me, where I am not in competition with you. So I typically wouldn't gravitate to those type of people. Not saying that's anything wrong with what you said. I'm just saying, um, because there's a sense of competition, but it's really with yourself. So you wouldn't like me very much. There'd always be that there's something off with her. I don't like her. I don't know why I don't like her, but I don't like her. Type thing. But to go back to your original question, I wouldn't say it was greater. I wouldn't say it was greater. But I am the shit. So I find myself to be great, but in comparison, I wouldn't compare. I wouldn't compare. No, 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 I wouldn't say that. It's frozen. It's frozen still. Am I still frozen? Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep going, but if a lot of people tell me that I'm frozen, then I'll figure it out. But okay, so if you deal with energy, um, I wouldn't necessarily, okay, step outside the fact that it's an opinion. Now, you never want to force somebody to believe what you're telling them. I don't even listen to half the people that try to tell me something. And I'm going to tell you a situation next after I finish this that happened. So, you never want to force somebody to take on what you're telling them because it's, once again, it comes down to perception. Um, Basically, whatever they're able to receive. So, if you constantly look at what you're saying as an opinion, then you're solely tuned into yourself. I can sit here and I could give the reading and I can say, this is what Spirit is saying. But then I'm also going to be like, but blah, 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 blah. But don't listen to that because that's just me. Right? That's just me. I know, I know Spirit, and then I know when I'm tapping up in there. And you're pretty much going to know when I'm tapping up in there too. Because if you stick around long enough, you'll start to realize my personality and literally when I'm channeling Spirit, and then when I go off the wall into like a me thing. So when I catch people before they think it's an opinion by being like, just hold on a minute, let me figure it out, right? Because it's gonna sound like it's my opinion, but it's not. I'm just trying to capture what Spirit is saying because I can't get it to roll off in that moment. Give me a sec, because I might be all over the place with this one. It's not an opinion when you're talking to Spirit, but it's not your job to make people receive the message that you're giving. That's the thing. It's not an opinion when you're talking to Spirit. It's not your job to make people receive it or, believe it. People are going to believe what they want to believe. People are going to do what they want to do. Even if people want to be good, but they still be bad, okay? Because we're human. I want to be good. I can believe I'm a good person all day, every day. But that doesn't mean I won't do something that's toxic, that's negative, that may potentially harm somebody. Not like harm, okay? Because I ain't going that far. But who's to say, like, my words won't cut somebody deep? I didn't intentionally do that, but I did it. So when people are not ready to receive it, it's going to always come off as an opinion. So then you have to ask yourself, are you ready to give that message? Are you ready to actually work with that energy? Because if you're not ready to work with it, it's an opinion. Yes, it's always going to be viewed that way. You don't trust in yourself or the messages that you're receiving to give. So now we got to go back to center of what work needs to be done within before I can be ready to actually work with this energy or give that message out. Does that make sense? I hope it did. Because I don't know. You left and came back out? Or came back in? Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So even down to the story I said I was going to tell. My foot's falling asleep. I shouldn't have sat on this ground. Or I should sit on a pillow. Maybe. I'm going to just change positions. Okay, so recently, Kerr, good afternoon. How are you? So recently, and I'm not going to name drop, but the person is on my live, but if they want to say who they are, then that's on them. I never name drop, but when people decide that they want to speak up, then they make themselves known, and whatever happens after that, happens after that. So, either way, this person ended up writing me, and this isn't the first time that this has happened. But this person ended up writing me, and like with my spirit team, because I've gone through this a lot, and I had to learn like hard lessons with it, we have this whole thing. I have like different sayings with my spirit team to let me know when the enemy is trying to like come into my life. When someone who wasn't sent by them is trying to interfere or distract me from what my purpose is. So when people use the term, Spirit told me to tell you, I don't listen to it. I don't listen to it whatsoever. Right? Now, everybody's different, but I'm saying the relationship that me and my spirit team have created. When they tell me, Spirit told me to tell you, or God told me to tell you, I already know where that source is coming from, because for me, I'm hard-headed, right? I have to go through things a lot I'm very tough. I can be closed off. And it's not that I can't be open, I'm just very mindful of who gets access to me, like who I let communicate with me. Same thing, kind of. Fuck, this leg won't stop. Um, it's my foot. It won't stop falling asleep. But anywho, um, yeah, so this person came through with that type of message, and I automatically tuned it out. I never replied, and that's what I started doing because I learned my lesson. But the message beforehand was stating about how other people do not like me. Other people were laughing at me, and this is on the channel, right? Um, how I need to be mindful of who I let on my lives. I need to be mindful of who I let moderate. Um, how they wouldn't steer me wrong. And if I don't trust in what they're saying, then have somebody close to me, like my son, monitor my comments, which my son is 12, monitor my comments so therefore I can get the accurate answer so I can see it for myself. And the message I got from that was this person is projecting. This person is also an attention seeker. And this person, I'm gonna use is stupid. I said what I said. I don't want to search for another word that's nicer. I said what I said. Because what would make you think that I don't choose my moderators correctly? Anybody that chooses to moderate for me, they've been around in my lives for like a good minute before I actually trust them enough to hit that mod button. Now, with that person, I did get a little sloppy. I did. But either way, I realize that now, but stay with me. Why would they think I will let my 12-year-old son sit on this channel and read the comments? My son loves me. He's protective of me. I'm protective of him. I'm not going to let him sit on an adult channel and monitor the comments knowing that there's trolls that come through. There's negative energies, there's negative people that come through outside of just the trolls that may say some things that he will read and he's sensitive to. The fact that it was just so much, because I can't really say it verbatim exactly, but it was just a lot of, it's about me, and I'm really not looking out for your well-being, if that makes sense. It was more of, I don't like the fact that you're not putting me at the center and you have all these different people that are close to you or that you allow to be close. Because what they said, one of the things they said was you have the live reading that you did, you had so many mods in there. That was ridiculous. The mods that I have in here, so yeah, you may see like 20 in at one time. Because I choose my mods based off of people that actually have shown up. People that either come in my question and answers or they like actually speak up on the lives. I've grown some type of relationship with them from a distance. So in a nutshell, what I'm saying here is when it comes down to the opinions that you were asking about, that there was the opinion of that person. I wouldn't listen to that whatsoever. And so I can always make sure I'm not misreading the situation. I have one of my number one things, but I have other things that I'm not going to say it because I want to tell the whole world. So when I need to know, I can know. But the number one thing is Spirit told me to tell you. And I know Spirit didn't tell you nothing because if they, if they did tell you, they know I'm hard-headed, so they have to say somebody tough. The way that you're speaking to me, they know I won't receive it, I won't listen to it. So we're not everybody's messenger. That's the thing. Everybody does not need you, will not need you. You can't talk to everybody. It's like finding your niche. I'm not for everybody. And the way that you heal or you give your messages or whatever energy working you do, you're not for everyone. Let me plug my phone in, hold on. Okay, yeah, you're not for everyone. Everyone isn't gonna like you, everyone isn't gonna take to you. So then, yes, it may come off as your opinion. One, you have to trust in yourself. Because there's gonna be a lot of people that do not believe what you're saying. And if you don't stand firm on what you believe, how can they believe that what you're saying is actually true? Um, Shoot, I done forgot. Hold on. Oh no, I done forgot. Nope, I forgot. I forgot what the hell I was saying. Oh, I guess, yeah, you're not for everyone. And that's okay. That's okay. So to other people, it's going to seem like your opinion. Because to them it is. It takes time sometimes. Like, some of the messages that I give, they're not going to happen immediately. But I still said what I said. It's just going to, it takes time for it to happen. It takes time for people to see it. I could sit here all day and say, you need to leave that man. And you'll be like, why? He loves me. He loves me so much. He buys me flowers. He, treats me so good. He treats me and my children good or whatever else it is. But when I look at the cards or when I hear the messages, I don't know how you see in that. But whatever. Do what you do. And then months later, it's like, oh my gosh, why didn't I see that before? I can't make you do anything. And if you don't see it for yourself, you're not going to do anything about it. And sometimes we see things for ourselves and still don't do nothing about it, right? We make excuses. Nope, I forgot my point again. Sorry, I forgot. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, yeah, I forgot. We make excuses. Nope, I forgot. I forgot. But either way, my question to you guys is, how can I be a better service to you? Outside of just coming on and delivering the messages. How can I be a better service? Whatever comes to mind. I'm either going to agree to it or not, or I just take a mental note. But what are you in need of? That hopefully I can't offer, because don't be doing too much. Okay. What do you feel called to do or to become that you feel like you don't know how to master? Because I got answers. But I'd rather teach you how to get the answers than keep giving you the damn answers and then being pulled. I should be getting quiet. But I'll wait. Patience is key. Patience is key. Minnie, good afternoon. How are you? How am I going to be a service if y'all don't even say nothing? Don't pull on me again now, because I showed up here. The next pull, I'm going to ignore it. I'm going to ignore it. Okay, cool. Okay, cool, Cornelia. See, patience is key. Patience is key. I feel like you're already helping me. I believe sometimes we the people become dependent on you. It's, hold on, because a stupid notification came up. It's just wanting, no. It's not that you aren't teaching us, it's just wanting to know the next thing. We have to move as if you never came around. Who we're, who were we depending on before you? We need to focus on ourselves and think. Indeed. Because I feel like before I ever became, who I am, because I don't like boxing myself in, because I'm more than just what you think I am. Some of you guys were on this mission before, and you were watching someone else, learning from someone else. And either you still like that person, or you no longer watch them anymore, and you gravitated. And some of you guys will gravitate again for me, and some of you guys have. Like, you may not be here anymore, or you just stop watching them. Um, it's common. It's common, but the last thing you want to do is go from one thing and be dependent on another thing and be dependent on that to another thing and be dependent on that. Because if you ever ask yourself, why do I always have all these tough lessons? Like, why do these lessons repeat itself? Because it's like you keep depending on the same thing versus growing and learning the lessons so you can release what you are dependent on or who you are dependent on. Not everybody's meant to last in your life, including myself. I would love for you to stick around, but if you feel called elsewhere, then you feel called elsewhere, okay? I'm always going to be changing shit. Like, I may backtrack on something. I may start something new. I don't know what I be doing. Not that I don't know what I be doing, but I be wanting to do a bunch of things. It's not that I'm not a consistent person. I'm a very consistent person. But I like to try a number of things, and that doesn't always fit people's needs. But if you need me to continue to be the same person, read the same way, do the same readings on the same day, at the same time, however I decide to do it, or you got used to, then I am sorry, I cannot be that person. I cannot be that person. Yeah, I feel like I do a lot, and sometimes I feel like I could do a lot more, but I feel like I could make a balance where maybe if I just teached more, if I just taught more, teach more, taught more. If I just taught more, taught more, teach, taught. If I just taught more, teach. One of the motherfucking words, I'm figuring out. But yeah, maybe if I just helped you get the blueprint. I don't want to give you the blueprint, but help you find your blueprint. Help you figure out how to create your next blueprint. Maybe that'd be better. Because I honestly don't want to show up on this channel as much, to be honest. I don't want to be here all the time. I don't, like, yeah, I did that in the past, that was cool. But I don't want to be consumed by social media. I don't want to be consumed by these readings. Which is why you'll see me come on and just be talking and drinking. Because I just want to do something different. I don't want to just have to show up just because I got a message. Sometimes the message is, we all need to relax. Okay? We need to just relax. Just chat. Be human. And maybe I'll be going live because I need to show some of y'all I am human. I am not a robot, okay? I ain't just made of messages. I be having my own little struggles. I don't get every message. Okay? I'm just saying. But maybe if I were to figure out how to, like, show up and help you receive the blueprint or create your own blueprint, then I will feel like I am of service in helping you. Which also, in a nutshell, will go along with my Aquarius North Node, to be honest. Because my Leo South Node is what energy I've been in. Like, I know how to grow, okay? I know how to get attention if I want it. I literally could be much bigger than what I am now, but at some point, it was just too much. And it's not too much, it's just not the life I want to live. Like, I don't want to be in the forefront. But that would be the Leo North Node. With the Aquarius North Node, my soul mission, basically, is to help other people realize their potential, realize, step into the spotlight. So, for instance, my son, he has Leo in his 10th house. He's been asking about his YouTube channel for, like, ever. He wants to do gaming. I know my baby is very, very psychic. He has a lot of gifts, probably stronger than mine, most likely stronger than mine. But I've been hiding him, protecting him in a sense, but hiding him. Maybe it's time for me to step in the background and help my baby flourish. Put him out there, whether it's gaming or it's tarot or it's whatever, right? Stepping in the background and helping him create his own blueprint because he literally, this lifetime is meant to be in the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? I think people start to pull on your energy when they are in stress mode. They don't know how to handle their own emotions, so they look for you to come help you sort through their emotions instead of understanding their own emotions. Indeed. Indeed. And because I'm an emotional being, whether I like it or not, and I will deny it if anybody ever asks me, okay? I'm only saying it now. I can feel it. I can feel it. I learned to create a barrier in between where I don't get emotional like that. So, like, if you start crying, I don't feel it. Not that I can't feel it, I just created that barrier so I don't end up taking it on. But yeah, if people understood their emotions and how to like work through them, then it would be beneficial. Same thing I had to go through too. I've always been emotional. I am a Cancer, okay? I've always been emotional. But growing up, I realized I'm actually not that emotional as I thought I was. It's just people did not understand why I was emotional. And I could not put my emotions into words. I ain't an air sign. I don't technically go to logic. Because logic for me doesn't really make sense. Which is why a lot of times I'm like, I can't find the word. I have the feeling I can't find the word. I lost my sight right there, my purpose right there. Just hold on. But there is always room for growth, more. Oh yeah. I gotta keep my baby safe. So kind of go back to Kaleem. I gotta keep him safe, but I can't hide him from the world forever because it literally is within his purpose to be well known, to create some type of fame. Like, it's literally in his chart. Um, maybe the whole message here is time to take a seat back, help you guys like blossom into who you're meant to blossom into. So the way that I give the messages won't be the same because it's more focused on helping you get your blueprint versus seeking out me or anyone else. You hear what I'm saying? We still need people so we can out check ourselves, but no 100%. They don't want to do the work. They want it to be easy for them. That's why things tend to be a cycle because they don't want to learn to get over them, over that stepping stone. Indeed. Indeed. And I feel like I go through a lot. I don't say it because I don't like people in my business like that. And then two, I just am not that type of person. But I've had to learn how to control my own emotions and how to even accept my emotions and express my emotions, even down to my thoughts. Like, one may say I'm an overthinker, I get that a lot. You overthink everything. But am I really overthinking? Or am I thinking about the stuff that you don't technically ever think about? Is it possible that I am identifying things that you wouldn't averagely see day to day? So am I really overthinking? Or am I seeing the bigger picture here? Am I seeing more details than the others? Right? When you walk into a room, you may see there's 5 people in the room. It's empty in here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many people in the room. And then I'm going to notice the fact that that person looks like that. That person's sitting like that. That person's talking like that. maybe they're not saying anything, but they're saying a lot. Like, I'm going to look at all that, down to, the chairs in the room, the walls. We can sit here and say what's important, what's not important. But I think about all the things that people find not to be important, basically, if that makes sense. William, I gotta work on my little Scottish accent. Thank you, thank you. Is the North Node how we find our purpose? The North Node basically is your purpose, but you really won't step into the North Node until like your 40s, maybe late 40s, like 40, 45. It really isn't important in the beginning, which is why I can say it was easy for me to fall into Leo traits of my sophnoid because I'm natural at that. I've already experienced that. I came into this world just kind of, it was easy. The hard part is the North Node because I haven't conquered that, which is why I have that. So being the humanitarian, helping other people be opposite of who I used to be, it's kind of hard. Like, think about it. Like, if you've always been on stage and you're used to people gravitating to you, centering you. If you're used to that and always like getting what you want easily or whatever, imagine coming back into a world where, yeah, that's not your thing anymore. You can't be center stage. Doesn't mean you can't do it, but you can't be center stage because that's not your purpose. Your purpose is to help people be center stage. And it's like, what the hell? But why can't I be center stage? Because you're used to it. It's not easy. It's not easy to do. So whichever way your North Node goes, it's easy for you to sit in the South Node because you've already experienced that. You're naturally good at that. Naturally. The hard part, which really isn't hard if you accept it and you just kind of push through it, is the North Node. Petrina, good afternoon. How are you? Mighty, good afternoon. Stir, is that an actual question or are we being funny? I just want to know, because one too many trolls that be coming through. Okay. Okay, let me see it again. You said if thoughts arise in your mind without you choosing them, then who or what is actually thinking? Okay. So, that lets me know you know when you're actually speaking. So, if you're choosing them, then you know that's your voice. The thoughts that come into your mind without you actually thinking them can be a number of things. You could be picking up on someone else, which is why you got to kind of be careful with this one. You could be picking up on someone else, so that could be telepathic communication, which is easy to do with those that are close to you. So you may have a thought of someone because telepathically they're pulling on you, they're calling on you. For instance, why I'm here for this live. You may answer a question for them. You may say something and they're like, oh, I was just thinking that. So it could be them coming through. You could have the thought be your spirit team, which I kind of sum the spirit team up into whatever you believe in. God, your spirit guides, your ancestors or whatever. Um, and then it could be your higher self, indeed, which would sound similar to you, but not similar because the higher self is grown. So think about how you think now, and then think about the mature version of you. That's gonna be higher self, um, or future version. But the last thing in this one you want to be careful with is who is that motherfucker actually talking to you? Because everyone doesn't have your highest good, you know, at hand or whatever in mind. Um, so there's spirits that come through pretending to be, who you want them to be. And this is why we got to get out, be careful, and get out of the energy of being dependent on message or, losing ourselves. Because then if we're so dependent on having a certain message, give me a sec to explain it. If we're so dependent on having a certain message, that's probably not a good spirit talking to you. They're not here to co-sign. They're not here to co-sign. I'm a backtrack again to answer what you were saying. Your spirit team is not here to co-sign what you want them to co-sign. They're not here to be like, yeah, do that stupid stuff. No. Yes, I agree with that. They're not the yes man, yes woman, whatever. That's not them. So think about you being the yes, 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 I'm afraid person to this, your spirit team being like, no, that's stupid. You need to get out of that. But you being like, but I want to do this. No, you don't, right? No, yes, sometimes they will be like, yeah, that's a good idea. But a lot of times, if you're constantly getting that yes, 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 you got to ask yourself who the fuck is surrounding you. Because they got to go. But those random thoughts can come from any one of those sources. But the one thing that you need to be concentrating on doing is figuring out your voice and those that have your highest good in mind, their voice. You know what I'm saying? So if you didn't think the thought, somebody's speaking, but who's speaking? What was the thought? What was the message? If that makes sense? STR, good afternoon. Well, good evening. How are you? You're welcome. Which is why, like, I always say, like, if I'm going through things, sometimes I can forget if it becomes too overwhelming. I try to, like, stop and figure out, is it me or is it someone else? So, like, when I get really emotional, I know I'm an emotional person, I know. But I ain't that damn emotional, okay? I'm a Taurus moon. I'm pretty chill with my emotions. And it takes a lot for it to get riled up. So if I'm like really riled up, whose emotions am I holding on to? I want to figure out whose emotions I'm holding on to, whose thoughts am I holding on to, um, so I can let it go. Solve it if I can, and if I can't, I'm going to let it go because I'm not going to be worrying all damn day. You asked, is it when you feel it in your gut, is it true? If that's what you're asking, it's going to be different for everyone because for me, I don't go off my gut. So it kind of goes down into like probably your human design. But even like through meditations and talking to my spirit guides, the things that I've learned about myself, which I've known, but like I needed more confirmation, clarity on, is mine isn't my gut, it's my heart. So I go off literally my emotions. So when I try to close off emotions, I'm doing a disservice to myself and to others. Um, but I feel like I don't have to cry about it to have emotions. So don't think that. But When I want confirmation on something, I go, how do I feel about this? My gut will steer me the wrong direction. I don't feel it in my gut. It's a feeling that I get. I feel something's gonna happen. I feel this is right for me. Um, when I, read, or let's say I do mediumship, I'm going to feel it. So like the clairsentience, I feel the pain. That's a heavy number one gift that I got. It's Yeah. Either way, I feel the pain through my body, or I feel the pain coming through you. So I receive the messages through what I feel. It's not the only way, but it's one of the number one ways. So some will go off their gut. Their gut will tell them. I don't go off my gut. I'm going to go off of a feeling. So my spirit guides in one of my meditations said, pay attention to your feelings. You will know. And I was like, what the hell is that supposed to mean? But I get it now. I get it. If I pay attention to how I feel, it will tell me everything I need to know. If you suddenly had a thought that didn't come from your brain, how would you even know? Give me a sec. Right now it's quiet, right? I don't have a thought going on whatsoever. Even though I'm speaking, I literally don't have a thought going on. It's empty. Believe it or not, it's empty. I don't have a new thought. So the words that I'm speaking are separated. Think about it like this. How is it that you can hear someone speaking at the same time that you're speaking? That will answer it right there. Because if you're speaking, how is it that your ears are able to pick up on the next conversation? If someone is actively speaking to you and you're mid conversation with them, how is it possible that you can pick up on a conversation 2 tables away from you? That's how. That is your answer. If you suddenly had a thought that didn't come from your brain, how would you even know? You would know. You would know. Just as simple as you can hear someone else outside of yourself. You can hear yourself speaking, and you can hear the other person speaking. Like if we were both having a conversation at the same time, I would still hear you. And I would hear myself at the same time. So, just like that. If you don't follow your natural gift, stuff won't go well. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that. You want to get in tune with your natural gifts, but everybody's gifts are going to be different. They're going to develop differently. You may not even use all your gifts this lifetime. You may not even really have a need to use them this lifetime, especially if you don't get out of the energy of codependency. Ignore my stomach if you hear it growling, because actually I was going to eat before I went live, but I forgot. But remember, we're here to learn, to have this human experience. If we have these gifts since birth, just because we use them, don't mean that everything will go well for us. I'm very gifted. Still be having some bullshit happen. But it benefits you. It benefits you. So it benefits you to use the discernment. It benefits you to listen to that gut feeling. It benefits you to, whatever other spiritual gift, to use that. But it also benefits you to get it wrong, to have things go wrong, because it's the only way you're going to be able to learn. If everything was always given to you, if everything always went right, you could never learn. You couldn't even learn what was wrong, how you can develop it when you were right. So how they asked the question, how Stir asked the question about how would I know? about the thoughts. Um, Give me a sec, because my stomach is distracting me a little bit. Um, if he, it might be a she, but might be a he. But if they did not experience the right and wrong, then they would never understand it. How do I say it? Hold on. So they can only ask that question because it's happened, right? You just need clarity on the situation. They can only ask that question because it's happened. They experienced it. Don't believe it, or don't know how it's happened, or whatever, which is like an awakening. Um, but they can only ask it because it's happened. The way that they're going to be able to, I don't know how to say it. Mm, Hold on. The way they're going to be able to gain the confirmation that they want or need in order to stop believing that is to actively use it, test it. It's not always going to go well. It may not put them necessarily in the best predicaments, especially starting out, but eventually it will. Like, eventually you will master it, and things will go well for you. But there's moments where it won't, is what I'm saying. I don't know. I'm confused at this point. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't want to believe everything. Like, I feel like people got to understand, especially when you decide to be spiritual, is just like you can't trust everybody that gives you a message or that you talk to. Same thing on the spiritual side, okay? You can't trust all the motherfuckers. Okay, just because they dead don't mean they smart. Okay? Don't mean they smart. You have certain deities out here that literally are tricksters. Just because they got a name to them and a lot of people worship them or call on them or whatever else it is, does not mean they're, and in the same breath, does not mean they will be good to you. Just because they're good to someone else does not mean they'll be good to you. Just because my ancestors are good to me does not mean they will give two shits about you. And vice versa, right? You gotta know who you're talking to. In a nutshell, you gotta know who you're talking to, who you're dealing with. You can't trust everybody. So you can't trust every spirit that comes around or that you may feel to call on. Which is why they say, don't be messing with that dang Ouija board. Okay? Even some of the strongest ones be having some bullshit come through that they can't handle. That's strong. And just like God is sending his greatest soldiers, the devil will too. Okay? Because if you fucked around, you're gonna find out. So, ignore my stomach. So, if you are out here dabbling in things that you're not aware of, you don't have the proper protection, or let's just say you are protected, but you're not protected on that level, you're just gonna get a soldier, a negative, toxic soldier, whatever, that comes through that can defeat you on that level. You know what I'm saying? I don't freaking know. I need to eat. Glove, good evening. How are you? They walk in the light, absolutely you can. But they have not let me do that. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Been in the dark from a child, now coming to the light. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My thing is, were you really in the dark? Or was your eyes just shut? Were you really in the dark? Or were your eyes just shut? I could sit here and say, my gifts developed when I was young. I mean, they've been here since birth, like literally. And then I could sit here and say, um, they went away, and I was in the dark, and now I've come back to the light, and they're here again. They never left. They never left. It's just every time I would get a sense of it popping up, I would turn away. I would look away. I would see people, over the time being while I was growing up. I see random spirits here and there, and then I put a blanket over my face. I would turn away and be like, "Oh, I'm not seeing anything. It's all pretend. It's not real." Then I'll turn back. Oh, it's gone. It's not there. I didn't hear anything. Chalk it up to a coincidence. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how I knew that. So were you really in the dark, or did you just put the shades on? Okay, Patrina, you gonna take it there. Mm-mm-mm. Give me a sec, because this is going to be a touchy subject. Just give me a sec to find my wording. With this one, I don't want to ever take away something that you found comfort in. Um, no, I'm actually going to choose not to speak on the subject. I can tell you a lot of messages, I can tell you a lot of things, um, but I am not certified in psychology to be some sort of clinician. So I feel like those that have mastered how to go in depth with those situations and that type of healing are better off for the subject. Maybe like Lachey. Lachey. Um, I don't want to lead you astray by touching that subject. Even though I've had my own experiences, I'm still healing through my own experiences. So I can't really touch much on that. Like, I feel like we all find comfort in something. Like, I found comfort in pretending that the spirits that I was seeing wasn't real. I felt comfort in pretending that I didn't have all these emotions, shutting down and whatnot else. We all find a way to comfort ourselves, especially when the world won't receive our truth. But eventually, we realize it was all a lie. And then we wake up. We wake up. The shades are no longer available to us. The darkness is no longer available to us. Now, the thing is, well, how are you going to share your experience to help other people who may be experiencing the same thing, or who may experience the same thing, or who may have experienced the same thing? How are you going to use that experience to help others outside of yourself? Does that make sense? Which is good, as you should. As you should. Most definitely. Okay. I will take some final questions and then I'm going to dip because I got some work to do. And I need to eat something. So. It is. one day at a time. And then now, I'm gonna go plan for the future. Because I think I see where I'm guided to go, so I can stop getting this pull to show up in a way that I don't want to show up. But I will be doing question and answers tonight, though. You can still show up there if you want to. Or not, whichever way. I'm just gonna be working on some other things. And if I don't do it tonight, I'll do it tomorrow. Because actually, I got a lot of work to do tonight. So I might do it tomorrow. It all depends. I don't know. I don't know yet. But yeah. Actually, no, tomorrow's gonna be busy. I'll figure it out. Maybe tonight. Just gotta squeeze it in. No problem. Thank you for showing up. And telling your truth. Marv, good evening. How are you? Okay, I'll give it like 2 more minutes. And if I don't see anybody's questions, I'm gonna just dip. Because I didn't want this to be that long either. I need to get like a booty seat if I'm still on this ground. Take a look at the videos. You'll see what it's about. Stick around if you like. Or if this will be the last time that we see each other again, enjoy your life. But I love y'all. I thank y'all. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for joining me. I truly, truly do. Until next time, have a good night.